So to start us off, the first study that we'll be focusing on is about the impact of conflict management in this specific Nigerian organization. And this study functions more as like a company evaluation more than a an all-encompassing study, but still interesting nonetheless. And it's about whether conflict management aids organizational effectiveness and contributes essentially to organizational performance at this innocent vehicle manufacturing company in Nigeria. And the researchers asked the participants, who are the employees at the company, whether conflict is effectively managed at this company. And the methods were a total of 80 staff members participated in a questionnaire and a survey and about the management of conflict in their company, indicating their level of agreement. I didn't put it here, but they also participated in a personal interview of some sort, although they didn't expand all too much on what that looked like. And so the questions that they were given on this questionnaire were very simple, straightforward, or I guess essentially they had to indicate their agreement with the level of these statements. And and these statements are: conflict management aids effective running of business at this company. There exist proper channels through which workers can air their grievances, if any. Conflict is effectively managed in the organization, and when problems arise in the organization, management usually adopts dialogue as a means of finding solutions to the problem. And the results of this were that conflict management did aid organizational effectiveness at this company, and additionally, employees collectively agreed that conflict was effectively managed there, which was opposite of what the researchers had thought would come from the results. And although it seemed that these results were somewhat positive compared to their hypothesis, the author still made recommendations for the company that could apply to really any organization, that management should adopt conflict management strategies to improve organizational performance. And they used a specific definition of organizational performance here that had to do with 6 different qualities of organizational performance, including effectiveness, efficiency, cost, quality, timeliness, and so on. And then another recommendation that they made was management should implement a free flow of communication across all levels of the organization. Staff should form interpersonal relationships with each other, as doing so can raise morale, and a constant dialogue should be implemented between management and employees to ensure easy issue and idea exchange. And so take away from this that I feel that most of us can bring from this study is that even in seemingly healthy work environments, it's important to establish healthy conflict management and conflict prevention mechanisms. And this can include some of the recommendations that they made: formal conflict management strategy adoption, keeping open channels of communication, encouraging interpersonal relationship formation, and so on. And so that's kind of the summary of this study. And I'm interested to hear what you all think of it as well.
So it seems like a case study, right? Like they actually just did a sort of analysis, and then they just wrote it up as a case study, which,
yeah, it's more so a case study.
I'm surprised that that's an actual name of a company. I'm surprised that they allowed them to do that.
Yeah,
I guess
I know. Yeah. It is.
I mean, it makes me just reflect on like like on our own organization. Like, do we have all the right strategies in place for managing conflict?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it worked so well for this innocent vehicle manufacturing company that they thought, I mean, it worked so well with us. Yeah, go ahead, use our name and share it.
Right.
That says a lot. That says a lot that they were, open to that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think this could be added to, if we have some sort of best practices that not only that we implement, at PPS, but also like that we help other organizations implement. These can be added to it, so like, just what is your conflict management strategy? Do you have a protocol for it? Do you have a process? Is there a free flow of communication between, different levels of the organization? How are the relationships with people? Do people feel like they like each other? They feel cared for?
Yeah.
I think those are reflected in like some of the culture surveys that we do, but Yeah.
Yeah, I think like these things happen, but not all at once, right? Depending on our different services, we're offering, you know, more of the best practices and the skill development of interpersonal relationships with others. And other times it's more organizational, strategic procedures, all of that. So it's interesting that they, yeah, like encompassing all this together, like, well, to have a conflict management strategy, you have to have all of this. Yeah, it's a good
Right.
Yeah.
thing for us to consider.
Yeah. Consistently building our list of best practices.
All right.